The 2024 NFL Draft is only a few hours away from beginning as I record this video, so I figured why not do one mock draft just to see exactly how well or how completely awful I can do. The Chicago Bears are the first team up on the clock right now, and I feel like this decision has been pretty obvious for a while now. They're going to go Caleb Williams. Now, with this second pick in the draft, I really have no idea where Washington's going to go. I feel like it's down to Drake May or Jaden Daniels. There was like some rumors that it could be JJ McCarthy, but I highly doubt that. But for whatever reason, my gut feeling is saying they're going to take Jaden Daniels. Which now brings us down to the third pick in the draft, the New England Patriots. And obviously they just lost their quarterback. Mac Jones is now a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe they still have Bailey Zappi, and I think they signed Jacoby Brissett. But I think the choice here is pretty obvious. I guess there is some chance that a team like Minnesota or Vegas could trade up to draft Drake May, but I think if the scenario plays out like it is, New England just gets their quarterback of the future with Drake May. This is going to be where the draft gets really interesting to me because at pick number 4, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, like I mentioned with the Patriots pick, there is a chance that a team like Minnesota or Vegas could trade up to take JJ McCarthy if they absolutely love him, but the Cardinals need a wide receiver 1, and there is a pretty clear-cut wide receiver 1 in this class. So I think at pick number 4, the Cardinals sit there and take Marvin Harrison Jr. The Chargers ended up losing both of their top targets this offseason, with Keenan Allen going to Chicago and Mike Williams becoming a member of the Jets. So I think Justin Herbert needs a brand new wide receiver 1, because currently I believe the top receiver on their depth chart is Quentin Johnston and then Josh Palmer. So I think they sit here at 5. I really thought about trading this pick, but I think they're going to sit here at 5 and take a guy like Malik Nabers, which would probably piss off a lot of Giants fans because I imagine they want a guy like Malik Nabers to come in and be their wide receiver 1. They could sit here and take Rome Odunze, but this is going to be the pick where I finally have a trade. Now, obviously, this is not going to be everything involved in this trade, but this is at least the bare minimum and what affects this mock draft. So we're going to go ahead and have Minnesota trade picks 11 and 23 to move up all the way to 6. And I think the move here is pretty obvious. Moving all the way up to 6, we're going to have Minnesota grab JJ McCarthy. I feel like this is going to be a really weird statement to make, but the most obvious pick in the draft is Chicago taking Caleb Williams. But somehow, at pick number 7, I feel like the second most obvious pick in the draft is the Titans taking Joe Alt. Pick number 8 in the draft actually belongs to the Atlanta Falcons, but with the way the board has fallen right now, I've had the Falcons trade with the Jets and fall down to 10. The Jets have now jumped the Chicago Bears and are targeting a receiver in this scenario. I think they go Rome Odunze. Now, the Bears are back on the clock here with their own pick, because obviously the number 1 pick is the Carolina Panthers. But with the 9th pick in the draft, I think they're going to sit here and take an edge rusher, and Latu, I probably just absolutely butchered his name, the edge rusher from UCLA. And the reason I had the Falcons trade down is because I kind of had that idea that if Rome Odunze is gone, the Bears are probably going to take an edge rusher, which would leave Atlanta one of the top 2 edge rushers in either Latu or Dallas Turner. So at pick number 10, they're going to take Dallas Turner. The Giants finally get to make a pick here at pick number 11 after trading down from pick 6, and I think they're going to go ahead and take a corner this time. They're going to take Terrion Arnold. Now, the Denver Broncos are on the clock, and their top need is a quarterback, but the quarterbacks left available right here, I don't feel like any of them are going to go at number 12. I feel like that would be a very bad, like, Christian Ponder situation where you need a quarterback, so you just take one. I think here at pick 12, they go ahead and get a weapon for whoever their quarterback is going to be and draft Brock Bowers. Now, I just said that I don't think any of those quarterbacks are going to go at number 12 to Denver. However, I could see the Raiders actually taking a quarterback super early, kind of like the Steelers did a couple years ago when they took Pickett, I think with pick number 20. But right here, I'm going to have the Raiders take Bo Nix. Probably not the most popular decision I could have done, but now moving on to 14, the New Orleans Saints, their top need is an offensive tackle. And Fashanu, I probably said your name wrong, the offensive tackle from Penn State is right there, and I think this is a pretty easy move. Now, with the 15th pick, I have Philadelphia trading up with Indianapolis. So Indianapolis goes down to 22. Philadelphia moves up to 15. There has been a lot of talk and rumors over the last couple days that Howie Roseman wants to move up, and I think they're going to do it here and take Quinion Mitchell. None of Seattle's top positions of needs are really around this area at all. Their top needs are listed as guard, center, and linebacker. Really nothing around here does that. But they do need a defensive tackle, and there's a pretty solid one here with Byron Murphy out of Texas, and that's who they're going to take. Pick 17 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their top needs are listed as corner, wide receiver, defensive tackle. There are a lot of options they could go with here, and I thought about Brian Thomas Jr., the other receiver out of LSU, but I think they're going to go ahead and take Johnny Newton, so we're going to get back-to-back defensive tackles. But don't worry, because Brian Thomas is not going to be on the board very long. Cincinnati owns the 18th pick, and they're going to get a brand new receiver. The way the first round has fallen so far really benefits the Los Angeles Rams right now, because at pick number 19, their second biggest need is an edge rusher, and they're going to get Jared Verse out of Florida State. And with the 20th pick in the draft, I'm just going to have the Steelers take the top offensive tackle on the board. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. It's the offensive tackle out of Oregon State. I really thought about mocking Xavier Worthy to the Dolphins here, but I don't know if they're going to burn the 21st pick in the draft on him. So I think they sit here and they will take Troy Fautanu, the offensive tackle out of Washington. I had Indianapolis trade with Philadelphia earlier, so they went from 15 to 22. And the way the board has fallen right now, their top need is a receiver. I really thought about Adonai Mitchell or Adonai Mitchell, the receiver out of Texas. Well, one of the two receivers out of Texas. But I think right here, they're going to take Cooper DeJean, the white corner out of Iowa. Now, the Giants are back on the clock in this scenario at pick number 23. I had them take Terrion Arnold with the 11th overall pick. This time, they're going to get the receiver and take Adonai Mitchell. And if I said his name wrong, I apologize. I'm an Oklahoma fan, so, just take it as a slight there. But at pick number 24, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock, and I think they sit here and take Amarius Mims out of Georgia. At pick number 25, I feel like it's a pretty easy selection right now for the Packers. They're going to take defensive back Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. Now, Tampa Bay's number one need is an edge rusher. There happens to be an edge rusher at the top of the board here, and that's where they're going to go with Chop Robinson. Now, at pick number 27, I have the Chiefs trading up. So Arizona goes to the end of the first round, but the Chiefs are going to take the speedy receiver out of Texas and Xavier Worthy. The Bills just lost Stephon Diggs not too long ago. Their number one need is a receiver, and I think they're going to just take the best receiver that's left available, and that would be Keon Coleman. Now, the Lions here at pick number 29, their top needs are edge and corner, defensive tackle, offensive guard, and wide receiver. I think they're going to sit here at this pick and take Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. I will be the first to tell you that I do not know a ton about offensive linemen, especially the ones coming out of college. Most of the time, I know a little bit about the ones at Oklahoma, but that is not really my position that I really like to watch, so I don't really know if this guy can move over to guard. But the Ravens do need a guard, and Graham Barton out of Duke is an actually pretty athletic guy. His RS score is a 9.99. I think they're going to take him, and maybe they can play him at guard. Then at pick number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Their top need is offensive tackle. J.C. Latham is still on the board. I think that would be a pretty slam dunk pick. And then for the final pick of the first round, I actually had Arizona trade this pick one more time, and it has gone to the Denver Broncos, who have traded back into the first round to take Michael Penix Jr. But that is going to be my mock draft here. I actually have 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. Do I think that's actually going to happen? Absolutely not, but it wouldn't be the wildest thing to ever happen on draft night.